Right. Welcome to our Crypto Spiritual Weekly. My name is bryndis, and if you don't know me, I'm an energy coach and energy trainer. I work at transCODES. I founded transCODES, and my day job is to guide people through some of the challenges that they have in their daily lives and help them to manage their personal energies better. Now, why am I doing these crypto weeklies? This is a very interesting development here for myself. I'm someone who has had many different careers, as some of you from the older generation may have had too. I originally started in the software industry, and then later became an expert in IT solutions, but I have different degrees. Energy work is something that I've been doing for the last 15 years and 10 years within the transCODES self-healing community. And this is what brought me here. At the beginning of last year, I noticed that there are very interesting correlations, very interesting links between the spiritual things that I talk about in my energy updates at transCODES and the cryptocurrency market. So if you find this a little far-fetched, don't worry, just stay with me. I'm going to try to keep those crypto energy weeklies about 15 minutes long, and then at 2 p.m. on YouTube I have the weekly life energy update where I can go a little deeper. The reason why I'm doing this live here with you is because I have trained myself to go into direct interaction with people, so I do want to encourage you to ask questions or to comment. Okay, what are the, or what am I not? I am not someone who gives trading calls, trading advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I will guide you through this week's energies, looking back at last week's crypto energies. And as most of you know, this was a very interesting week. So what I have done, and this is experimental, I want to make sure that you guys all understand this, is I have created this barometer. Okay, I call it crypto energy barometer. And what this is basically another version of how I see collective energies affecting us, affecting our energies, affecting our emotions, affecting our bodies, affecting some of our choices. And last week I started out with the kickoff and the first barometer. And let me pull this up here for you, because this is actually quite interesting how this worked out. It has been a week of what most people call probably the cryptocurrency bubble bursting or cryptocurrency crash. But, you know, if you were here last week, then you may have gotten through this with just a few minor sleepless nights, maybe. But anyway, I want to pull up the the crypto barometer from last week, simply because I like starting with a review. So last week, I talked about how a correction is needed and how this is basically in the stars, okay? Except for that, I'm not getting this information from the stars. I'm getting this information from working with energetically sensitives and empaths and visionaries throughout the entire world, okay? So what are these energies telling me? Last week, they told me that there's going to be a lot of FUD, and that there is going to be a lot of grief, a lot of pain in, you know, this letting go of your expectations, letting go of control. And that grief over lost control, as I called it last week, mainly displayed in some of the mainstream media. And I'll get to that here in a second. I also predicted a healthy correction for this week, and we had a very healthy correction of 50% down, and now in recovery, almost, you know, 25-30% recovery for all cryptocurrencies. And I put out the energy tip to take on the challenge And then in the energy update, I talked about overcoming fear. So fear was the main problem here last week, okay? It was not so much what actually happened. What actually happened was a natural part of our cycle here. We had a lot of new energies coming in. We had a lot of uncertainty that was just in the air, collectively. People don't really know where things are going right now. We had this typical place of a cycle where people are more or less sort of leaderless, where they're looking for advice from the outside, okay? And that makes us vulnerable. So I talked about this last week. So what then actually happened was that a lot of these FUDs, fear, uncertainty, and doubt messages that we were bombarded with led to this disbelief and this shattered belief in what we feel as inner prompting. And in the cryptocurrency world, this displayed in a lot of people, especially the newbies, especially the people who just recently gotten into cryptocurrencies, to sell off on fear. And my recommendation last week was to buy into fear, okay? To not get distracted by this and to not sell. Now, I'm not giving financial advice. I'm just reflecting on collective energies and how they reflect into the crypto market. And the reason why I can do this is because the crypto market is relatively unmanipulated. Now, this is here changing at this very moment. We are experiencing a big power struggle. And so that's kind of like the theme for this week is the restructuring of the power grid, and I will go into this here with a few more details. But I want to real quick go back and ask you guys how you've dealt with this sort of onslaught of horror messages and all these things that led to you perhaps doubting your own worth, or perhaps going into this sell-off. How did you guys handle this? And while you're thinking about it, what we did here at Crypto Spiritual is I started a new Facebook group last week, and that was phenomenal. How we could coach each other through these times. It was a super joy, to talk with people who are not going into that FUD, who were not reacting to everything. And we analyzed it in the Crypto Spiritual Facebook group. I do crypto dailies. I reflect on the daily energies. And so what most people felt was that there was a major shift happening on Saturday, actually Sunday, the night from Saturday to Sunday. So while things were going sideways due to the uncertainty, then on Saturday, Sunday, a major shift happened, and we've experienced that as energetically sensitives here physically. Actually, a lot of people couldn't sleep. They got woken up. They didn't know how to deal with these intense energies. And if you're not trained in how to work your energies, no matter whether you believe in the spiritual woo-woo stuff or not, then this can have an effect on your choices, on your decisions, and it oftentimes affects your physical in a way that you run into these autonomous nervous reactions that we talked about last week. So anyway, there was a shift, and then of course came sort of the big bang. What led to this crash? Lots of messages last week, and I talked about this. Lots of betrayal energies, scams were unveiled. There was the UC Tech, there was the BitConnect scam. There was issues with an ICO where I think $500 million got hacked. There was an exchange, a Kraken, that didn't work, for 3-4 days, and people got really, really insecure about the whole thing. And then of course you had the government's all sort of ringing for control over this market and announcing that they're going to do a lot of regulations. And last week, if you haven't seen the Crypto Spiritual last week, watch this. I talk about that. Why these regulations are actually needed and nothing that we need to worry about. But there were also other things, political things that were going on, and especially in regards to the stock market and the US dollar valuation. So I really want to point out for you guys that this is not over yet. The crash, perhaps, but there still is the possibility of these ups and downs, these pushes and pulls, at least until 9th of February. This is what I came up with here with my energy analysis. And so for the next 3 weeks, you're going to have to deal with these push-pull power struggle type of things, and pay a lot of attention. When fear mongering sets in the mainstream media, it's almost always certain that there's something else that needs to be covered up. Fear is used as distraction because it's ingrained, it's programmed into our nervous system as humans. And so the biggest mistake you can do is to just go by, the bombardment that comes from the outside. Energetically, this means you need to learn how to center yourself. You need to learn how to clear those energies out and how to get in touch with your heart so that you can discern energies, okay? Whether you are spiritually inclined or not, okay? This affects everybody because we all have an autonomous nervous system. And the big corporations and governments know this. They play on our emotions. They play on the way we are programmed and conditioned to react. And this is why so many people lost so much money last week, because they either bought into fear, they bought into greed, they bought into all kinds of unrealistic expectations. So this week, is a good week, and actually the next 3 weeks are good weeks for that, to really try to get a feeling for when energies from the outside are bombarding you with news that steer you into a certain emotional reaction, okay? And to really understand that there is, in the larger picture, there is a war on cryptos going on, okay? This is a decentralized, open source grassroots movement. This is totally against what the existing power structure, wants. And so all these people here that feel attracted to the crypto energies, be it, energetically or be it financially, you've got to understand that we are in probably one of the biggest restructuring of power and redistribution of wealth phases in our lifetimes, okay? And this will not go without a struggle. And so your job here, as someone who's energetically aware, or at least interested, I guess you were interested, otherwise you wouldn't be here, is to stay calm and to make sure that you have a good connection within, because the connection within is the one that can guide you through all these FUDs, all right? So don't go into, your greed either and think it's about winning. The biggest thing that I've observed last week is this fight on, who's right, the crypto guys or the stock market guys. Guys, this is a waste of energy. Don't try to convince others. If people ask you, sure, you can help them, but stop trying to convince them about cryptocurrencies. It's not about winning. It's coming anyway. It's just like when smartphones came or when the internet came. I was there. Okay, I've heard the exact same stories. And these corrections that we had last week, they've been going on. I mean, we had 3 or 4 of those last year. Okay, and those that are new to the market, they haven't experienced that yet. So you have to learn how to keep your own emotions and your own physical reactions in check. Or else this is too dangerous of a place. wanting to play in, or game to wanting to play it. I understand that there's a challenge, or that there's a thrill about this, and you can double, triple, quadruple your money, in a week. Absolutely. But you've got to be careful with that, because that is ultimately, what drives your energy into that reactivity. Most people sell into fear and buy into greed. And the big guys, the smart money, they know this, okay? And they play you. So don't listen to all these things. You can inform yourself, but don't buy into it. I hope this makes sense. So while this restructuring is going on, and this leads me to the forecast now for the next week, a new foundation is being built, and this is what we're all experiencing right now. So you don't have to think that this is all already figured out. Okay, it's not. The cards are being dealt right now, and there's big players that are trying to get this share. So the reason why I called this a restructuring of the power grid is that I can actually feel it that way. It's a grid, and that grid is changing right now, and it's all moving towards giving the power back to the people. And so we have a lot of forces here, that are trying to get, a part of that a larger, movement, because cryptocurrencies are not really just a financial security or somewhere where you can hedge, the upcoming financial collapse, the fiat collapse. Cryptocurrency is a movement. It's an open source movement, and that movement was already there 35 years ago, guys. I was there, I witnessed it, but it got shut down. And so for me personally, as someone who's been observing this for so many decades, this is a massive resurrection, of sovereignty. Okay, so this is my pep talk here for the day. But as far as the forecast is concerned, a lot of new stuff is being created right now, and there's wonderful companies, and there's wonderful business ideas and platforms that are being founded right now. And I announced in the Crypto Spiritual Facebook group that there's a lot of really cool ICOs coming back not coming back, but they're coming up. There's lots of ICOs, and quite honestly, I can't research them all. I have a few favorites, and I'm going to talk about those next week, because this week really is more about recovery, and going into clearing of that fear. Okay, there's maybe one ICO that you can look at right now, and that's called Storica. That's something that I looked at. But there's some cool ICOs coming out in the next 2 weeks, and I'll talk about them next week. With the restructuring of the power grid, I'm also hinting at a whole entire market segment, and that is the power segment. Energy, but not energy in the spiritual sense, but energy in the factual sense. And there are some really cool companies. I want you to do, if you haven't done so already, a little bit of research there in this market segment. There's 3 major players that I can identify right now that will be huge in the future. So yes, basically, it's the end of an old cycle, the end of the old world, the end of the old paradigm. Marketing, mainstream, all that is now starting to lose its power. Okay, and this is not going to go without a massive push-pull. So get ready, pay attention to distractions. Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on right now with the stock market and the US dollar. I do not want to be in those people's shoes right now. Oh, and one thing I forgot, why or what led to the bubble. It may also be related to the Bitcoin futures that were released last year, in December, that closed out yesterday. So the futures are up again, and if I interpret this right, then I'm pretty sure that the stock market right now is in favor of Bitcoin. Don't buy into people like Mike Bell from JP Morgan or whatever that keep saying, that the crypto market is dangerous and that it's better to be in the stock market. That's just like his CEO a couple months ago who said Bitcoin is a fraud, and then he had to apologize for that. So here, just little hints for you guys, okay? So what can you do? Practical energy tips. I'll talk about this in the energy update here in a little bit, in a slightly deeper way, but clear your house, guys. Open your windows, get that fear energy out of your house, okay? There was a lot of stuff that came down in these last 3-4 days. Also, you know, detox yourself a little bit. And you may find this like a weird advice for this weekend, but use this weekend to get wasted, to go do something joyful. You know, it's okay, you know, to have a little pleasure. This weekend is a good weekend for that. And disengage, okay? If you were one of the lucky ones who just like kind of slept through these last 4 days, you know, you may have not even noticed the drama that was going on. And not to say that, you know, going into avoidance is what can get you through this. No, but this weekend is a good weekend to spend time with your loved ones and to disengage from the crypto market a bit, okay? I don't think that there's going to be huge movements this weekend. And those of you who like what you're seeing here, please push the like button. If you're watching this on YouTube or seeing this on Facebook after the live transmission here, please know that you can keep asking questions. But if you want to know details, or if you really want to be at the pulse of it, join the Crypto Spiritual Facebook group, because there I'm like present pretty much 24/7. And if you want to know more about collective energies and how they affect you physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and energetically, then come to the energy update at 2 p.m., which is in a little more than half an hour on YouTube. I go a lot deeper in there, and I go into more discussion with you guys. If you would like to book services from me, I do energetic abundance training and coaching. Email me at jona@transcodes.com, and also check out maybe some of these ongoing energy training sessions that we have. We have programs that run for many, many years, and we have a huge self-healing community where we empower people to learn these energetic tricks, if you will, you know, that can get you through some of the practical challenges in your life. Oh, and one more announcement before I let you go, and I hope you've all pushed the like button by now and subscribed, you know, to the YouTube channel. Starting tomorrow, we are picking up on this reprogramming energy, restructuring energy that is coming in. And we're doing a little goodie for all of you who are interested in energetic stuff and collective energies. We're going to do a 21-day reprogramming life energy coaching lessons every day at 1 p.m. on YouTube Live. Check this out. 21 days. It'll be so cool. Jeff Casper and myself will guide you, you know, through the process of actually reprogramming yourself and breaking through some of those matrix things that you have in your system that you may not be fully aware of. Okay, so come here at 1 p.m. On YouTube Live and join us in this. Let me put up the picture here real quick for you so you can recognize this. This is what this looks like, and it's going to be Jeff and I every day with an energy coaching lesson for you, how to break through your matrix programming in 21 days. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Share. You know, tell your friends about this. I'm not getting paid by anybody. This is a free service here for my self-healing community. So help me spread the word. And I love your comments. And I see you next week, same time, every Thursday, 1 p.m. Denver time in the USA. Bye-bye, everyone.